Phoenix Forgotten today.
Come on. Do it. Fuck! Okay, that was Phoenix Forgotten. Surprisingly solid movie. I'd recommend it, I guess. Come on. Fuck! Okay. Well. Hey guys, Grant here. This is Zero Progress, and welcome back to Reviewed Footage, the series where I am reviewing found footage movies. A lot of them. Today I went to the theater, surprisingly, and watched the new Ridley Scott produced found footage thriller Phoenix Forgotten. It's actually interesting.
I believe that the flying saucers are objects from another
The
planet.
Navy has no saucer-shaped aircraft or missile.
There's no good reason for keeping this secret for 3 decades.
The government's been lying about UFOs for 50 years.
What is that?
Oh
Okay.
5, 6, 7 light.
You guys ever seen anything like this before?
That's one object.
Honey, zoom in on it.
Yeah.
I'm zooming, Mom.
Whoa.
That's definitely not a plane. What do you think that was?
I don't know.
That was the Air Force, Dad.
Well, I hope it was our Air Force.
This just goes to show that you guys are entirely too serious.
Hey, what's going on?
Power's out.
For the whole block?
The whole grid.
Get down. They're just cops. Cops don't walk around in the middle of the night with telescopes.
So as I mentioned before, Phoenix Forgotten is a Ridley Scott produced found footage movie, which instantly kind of puts it a step above the rest because not only does it have a quite comparatively large budget, I think between 1 and 5 million or something like that. And because of that Ridley Scott name, I think the movie turned out a lot better than a lot of people are saying it is. So right out of the gate, something to know about this film is it's not like a traditional found footage movie like you'd see with Blair Witch. And what's nice about that is because it's a mockumentary, it adds in a bit more believability than you would in a traditional film in this genre. And because it's a mockumentary, it uses footage, not only news footage, but home video footage from the 90s all the way to today. And they do a good job of actually using period equipment, shooting on VHS, making the not only video look right for what they're going for, but the audio at no point really took me out of the film. With most found footage movies, they love their characters and stuff, and it instantly takes you out because the audio quality is too good for the camera they're using. This movie did a good job of actually using the onboard mics on the cameras when it was appropriate. There were some scenes where it's laved because I guess they really needed those lines, so I guess that's fair. I would have liked maybe just use the onboard mic and we don't hear them, but whatever, it's fine. They do a good job throughout the rest of the film with the audio editing and video editing. It all looks, period, it all looks believable and good. Some of it I actually thought might have actually been real news footage, only to find out that it wasn't. And that's good that they tricked me in that. It added to the believability of what happens. And so basically the setup of the mockumentary is in the early 90s when the actual Phoenix Lights were observed. The main character's brother went missing. Him and his 2 friends, a girl and another guy, went missing. And this is 20 years later, and she's become a filmmaker too now, and so she's decided to make a documentary about the disappearance of her brother. And so the framework of this film is she's investigating, interviewing people, and also looking over the last few tapes her brother filmed before he went missing, and eventually culminating when she looks at the tape found in their car that was abandoned. And we're just going to say spoilers for this entire review, I guess. So essentially the first hour of this kind of just plays like a Netflix mystery documentary where they're delving into the disappearance of these kids, but the twist on it is that it turns out that the kids actually went missing because of aliens. So it's essentially one of those aliens are real documentary crazy things you see, only that the end of the film actually has evidence to back up its claims, which I think is kind of clever. It was fun. It was fun investing my time into this world watching the film.
The Phoenix Lights flew southeast, which is exactly where we're headed.
How do we get there?
It's like 6 in the morning.
This is gonna be red.
Literally nothing out here.
What you got?
Oh, come look at this.
What the hell?
I don't like this.
Yeah, like I said, the movie does a good job of setting up these questions and mysteries with not only the police investigation, but other overarching things. And then does a good job of answering the questions. And also, it does a good job of setting up like ancient legends and rumors. Like there's this whole running story of like this Bible story about this like circle with eyes around it. And then at the end, lo and behold, that's what you see. So they do a good job of bringing like a story you hear in the very beginning back at the end. And like the police investigation at one point when she's interviewing one of the lead detectives brings up all these questions they have about finding the abandoned car, and this doesn't make sense, this doesn't make sense, why would this happen? And when you finally get to the end of the movie, the final 20 minutes, where this new tape is discovered after 20 years, you actually get all the answers to those questions, which is good. That's one of the things you need in filmmaking. Like when you show a gun in the first scene, you better make sure that gun's used by the end. So they do a good job of, when you ask this question in the beginning, in the first act, you better make sure it's answered by the third, and it is, which I very much appreciate, because these found footage movies a lot of times piss me off when it's like you could have provided an answer in that format, but you just decided not to because you're trying to keep it ambiguous because you wouldn't find answers in real life. It's like, dude, it's a movie. Although, to note, even though I appreciated that foreshadowing and stuff, it was a little bit too obvious at times. The acting as well was surprisingly solid. I didn't know any of these actors. I'm pretty sure they're all unknown except maybe the father character. He's probably been seen in something before, not that I would recognize him, but yeah, everyone was solid. All of it was believable. I bought some of the emotions of the people playing these fake people in a documentary, you know. And yeah, it helps you buy into the world. I got to give it props for that. Not only that, but the effects and things were pretty good. The digital effects, the practical effects, it all worked in camera. They did use glitches at one point, but they only used glitches on the tape that was like 20-something years old, found in the desert. So that I'm willing to buy more, even though it was to high takes. I'm cool with that. It tracks, it makes sense. And also, it falls into the trap of every alien abduction or alien found footage movie where it ends with someone getting abducted, shot up into the sky, and then the camera falling back down to Earth from so high up. How did it get up there? Ooh! And then it's like, how is the camera even still filming? How is it still working? The rules of the aliens and how the ship and stuff affected them while it was tracking them down was cool. Like, I guess it's implied radiation poisoning, which is where like you get like the bleeding and like the hair coming out in the trailer. And speaking of the trailer, I'm talking about the trailer. Okay. So in speaking of the trailer, and really the general marketing for this film, it kind of fucked up. Because they made it look like a Blair Witch type thing, and they didn't really market the fact that it was a mockumentary at all. What they should have done, and what I would have appreciated more, is if they had only used footage from the first hour, the first hour of the film, when it's like a straight documentary, and marketed it as like a mystery Netflix documentary about these kids that disappeared and new evidence coming to light. Because all the alien footage you see in the marketing and in the trailer pretty much shows you the final 20 minutes of the film. Like even the final scene of the movie is in the trailer, which it's like, why the fuck are you doing that? It's clearly dumb, right? So final thoughts. Phoenix Forgotten, solid film. They did a good job. The fact that it was a mockumentary really helped. I'm sure the fact that Ridley Scott produced it helped get it a lot more attention behind the scenes production-wise. And it really shows good editing, good video quality, good audio quality, good solid acting. And I personally have a soft spot in my heart for mockumentaries. I love The Tunnel. I love Lake Mungo. So yeah, if you like movies like that or just found footage, horror shit in general, I would recommend checking out Phoenix Forgotten. It's pretty solid. Yeah. So yeah, go check out the movie, I guess. I don't know. Everything just hurts.
Oh my God.